Good morning, David. Very nice to be
Morning.
here with you. David Gill, the CEO of the Commercial and Asset Finance Brokers Association. Bit of a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
It's
yeah.
very nice to have you here. David, I wondered if we could start by you telling me a little bit about your sector's approach to gender diversity, what's been happening and what still needs to happen.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. The Commercial and Asset Finance Brokers Association is the association for commercial finance brokers, and traditionally that's been a very male-dominated industry because we're reflective of our origins, and our origins, we look like what banks looked like 30 years ago, because most of our members came out of banks who didn't like they had a bit more entrepreneurship about them, they wanted to run their own business, they wanted to be more flexible. And so basically we've grown up looking like that, and we're dominated by middle-aged white men. And we recognised some time ago that that had to change, and it wasn't not just gender diversity, but we had to have more ethnicity diversity as well, which was very important because we had to start looking like the customers that we serve. And so whilst we recognise that, the other thing is, well, how do you go about changing it and what do you do? And we had a formal strategic review about 3 years ago, and we came up with 4 core strategies that we had to implement, and one was diversity. And so what we wanted to do was then identify the women in our industry who we thought could come through and be leaders in that industry, and that's where Women Leadership Australia came in, because they were the perfect vehicle to help us do that. And so through the association with WLA, we were able to, I think the first year we offered 5 scholarships to women in our industry, and the feedback from those women was absolutely amazing of how it changed them both personally and in their career. The next year we had more, and in 4 years we've now awarded 39 scholarships, and every single one of those scholarship recipients has said what an amazing experience it's been and how it's helped them.
Is there an example of how that's actually changed things for one of the women who went through, or perhaps their teams or the people they work with?
I've spoken to, say, some of the firms who have these women as employees, have said how their work has changed. One gave a statistic of, I think productivity was up like 40%, but it was also how they changed their attitudes, their communication skills, how they related to people and how they problem solved, things like that. And a lot of the women also came back and said, but it's really changed how my personal life is as well. Now, clearly I haven't done the course, so I don't know what the content is, but that sort of feedback was amazing. And so on the back of that, that was the first step. And one of those ladies, Renee Tocco, we invited to put her name forward to be elected to the board, and she was this year, and she's a scholarship recipient. So we've identified all those, 39 women now, and commercial finance broking is really the people at the front line doing the business. Within those businesses, and they're all small businesses, they employ a lot of people. And a lot of those people, and I hate using the term, but they're back office, and a lot of those back office people were women. Now, those women often had more knowledge than the guy at the front, but they either didn't have the confidence or the belief that they could go out and be a frontline commercial broker. And what those courses have done is identify, we've put quite a number of people who have been in administrative roles who said, no, I want to take the next step, and I'm not sure how I can do it. Actually, by doing the course, they've found, and talking to other women from other industries and talking to their problems and the things that affect them, they've been able to come forward and do that.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, David.
Thank you.